starting the recording. So I'll do a little welcome again because we just missed that from Dr. Wilmus, but thank you everyone for being here. And so I'm now going to introduce, and I hope he's on the call. Haven't seen his name pop up yet, but your SGA president, Joey Sudo, who is going to talk a little bit about the student experience. Joey, you there? Maybe. All right, so looks like Joey hasn't made it yet, but when he joins the call, we will make sure that you get a chance to hear from him. And so, sorry for, we're all working through this together. It's going to be different, just like this. We'll have some technical difficulties, but what we want to do is, I want to share with you a little bit about what WOW is going to look like. So if you're familiar with what we call CORE, it is our student engagement community. And what CORE is, it's a place where you can go to learn all about different events, involvement opportunities, just different experiences on campus. And so I'm going to pull that up on my screen so you can see what that looks like. Let me make sure. Allison, can you see CORE? Okay, great. So basically, when you go into CORE, you can go to sru.edu/core. You can go in and log in with your SlipperyRock username and password, and you're going to see a bunch of different things in terms of involvement upcoming. All of the WOW events for this week are going to be on CORE. So that's where you're going to want to go for the complete schedule of events that are happening. If you click on events on your home page within CORE, you'll see anything with that WOW logo is going to be a CORE event. You can also see, for those of you that might be in the Jumpstart program, some of the Jumpstart events that are happening on CORE as well. But basically, you'll click on an event, and so we can click on today's event, and you can see just a little description about what it's about. You can click join event location, which apparently was wrong for this morning, but we just corrected it. All the details you can download to your Google Cal or your Outlook calendar, whatever you might be using, and that's how you can get access to all the events that are happening during WOW. And there are, I think, about 30 or 40 events that are happening throughout the week. So I'd encourage you to log into CORE, again, sru.edu/core. Go in there and check out the schedule. So just a brief overview, this afternoon, there's going to be the first of our academic workshops. So every day from now through Saturday, these academic workshops will be available every day. So starting at 3 p.m., 3:30, and 4 o'clock, there's 3 different workshops that are going to help you to be successful in the online environment. So the first one, is basically your academic success tools. Again, you can click on that within CORE. This one's going to focus on MySRU, CORE, and Rock Learning Now, which is a new website that's going to feature all of the various resources you'll need to be successful through online learning. The second this afternoon is called just Demystifying D2L. And if you're not familiar with it, D2L is our online learning system. And so that's what you'll use within your classes. And so you'll become very familiar with it, but they're going to talk about that and what D2L is and how to navigate that. And then the third workshop is called An App a Day Keeps Poor Grades Away. And that's going to focus on Microsoft 365 and Zoom, which are going to be 2 online resources that you'll use within your classes. So again, those 3 workshops are going to be offered every day, starting today at 3 o'clock through Saturday. They're all on there. And again, if you click on the event, click on the link, and you'll be able to access Zoom. Tomorrow morning is the first of our student resources events during WOW. So we've got a Campus Employment's going to do a session on how to get a job, our Handshake platform, which is where all the jobs are posted. They're going to do some campus employment trivia. Then the Student Government Association is going to speak and talk about all the services that they provide for you. So for example, the Happy Bus, we've got a child care center, the bookstore, all of these things are offered by SGA. And so they're going to help you to learn a little bit more about what you get for paying your student activity fee and the different services that SGA can provide. The Emerging Leadership Experience tomorrow afternoon, there's going to be a session on our first year leadership program, which is called the Emerging Leadership Experience. Learn more about that program and how that can benefit you as a first year student. And then again, the academic workshops. So that's a little bit about what Thursday will look like. On Friday, again, if you scroll down, actually also starting on Thursday, every day starting tomorrow through Saturday, we will be offering shuttles to Grove City. And so if you're interested in taking the Happy Bus up to Grove City shopping outlets, you can meet in the University Union parking lot, and you'll be able to take a shuttle up there for free. The times and details, again, are within the core event. And then tomorrow evening, we have a mentalist show. It's on Zoom by our university program board. There was one this summer that was actually really awesome, and so it's going to be very similar to that. But it's a great opportunity to start getting connected with other students and just kind of see the fun things happening at SRU. Friday, we've got a couple additional student support resources. So our Step Up Bystander Intervention, how to stay healthy on campus. And then again, those academic workshops. Campus Recreation is going to do a Q&A session for you to learn a little bit more about all of our campus recreation facilities, the ARC, some of the fitness programs, and some of the different things that are happening. And then again, the academic workshops. So I see Joey is here, and I accidentally didn't unmute him, and that's why I couldn't hear him. So Joey, we'll get to you in a minute after I get through the schedule, if that's okay. So then on Friday evening, we've got an online murder mystery. There are some prizes and things, but it's going to be a pretty cool event sponsored by our fraternity and sorority life. And then on Saturday evening, I scroll down, again, the workshops as well as the shuttles to Grove City. We've got an event called Farrago, which is a really cool interactive game show. We've got tons of prizes for people. I think the top prize is a $100 Amazon gift card. But some different things that you can win throughout the week. So I'll take a quick pause here and let Joey jump in and introduce himself. Again, Joey, sorry, that's my fault for not unmuting you. And then after Joey, we'll talk a little bit about how to navigate this and how you can actually win some prizes just by participating in the WOW experience. So let me go ahead and unmute Joey. All right, introducing our SRSJ President, Joey Sudo.
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So welcome SRU class of 2024. I know you have been told this millions of times, but congratulations for graduating high school. I can speak on behalf of all upperclassmen that we are excited to get to know you. Due to the creativity and optimism that you all displayed throughout your rather unique senior year, it was inspiring to say the least. So that resilience is going to take you far in life and is a tool that will help you be successful here at SRU. As she mentioned, my name is Joey Sudo, and I'm a junior studying social work and communications here at The Rock. I will also be your student government president for the 2020 and 2021 school year. With that being said, if you need anything at all, don't hesitate to reach out, okay? My email is jds1034@sru.edu, and I will put it in the chat later. I just wanted to share with you all today one piece of advice that I was given when I was starting out my college career here at The Rock. That is this: always be excited to hear another person's story. Like, imagine if we entered each conversation with a fellow student or professor or faculty member as we did when we started a highly anticipated movie like The Avengers or something. When we are excited and engaged, that is when we as humans can begin to truly listen. Seek to listen to a vast array of stories here at SRU. Build those relationships, because that is how you can encounter those life-changing opportunities that they talk about constantly during orientation. That's how you can end up on a research project, find your lifelong friends, create a connection that will jumpstart your career. You could travel the world, build a solid support system that you deserve, and ultimately take advantage of everything that SRU has to offer. When we seek to hear what other people have been through and how they overcame obstacles, that's when we learn a little bit about ourselves. So in short, listening to other people's stories helps write our own. This chapter here at SRU is just beginning for you, class of 2024, so let's make it one to remember. Congratulations and welcome to Slippery Rock.
Thank you, Joey. And I am managing a lot of things on my screen right now. So I tried to pin you so everyone could see your wonderful face. And now I can't figure out how to unpin you. So we're going to move right along. Joey has actually prepared some trivia for everyone here. And so we are gonna let him run through that SRU trivia, and if you win, you will get a $25 Amazon gift card. So if you are the first to, basically what you do is you need to raise your hand and we will unmute you, if I can ever figure out how to get back into my chat and unmute people. But basically, you're going to raise your hand. If you go down to the bottom of your screen and you click on participants, you should be able to, I'm going to actually exit out of this real quick. And maybe I can get back to what I need. Okay, so at the bottom of your screen, you'll see participants. And when you click on that, you should be able to raise your hand. Does everyone see where that feature is in participants? All right, I got Katie, I got a okay, all right. So you're gonna raise your hand, and if you're the first one to answer, then you'll be called on, we'll unmute you, you can answer it, and you get a $25 gift card. So we're gonna let Joey go ahead and see if I can do both our screen and Allison, do you want to, I'll unmute you as well, and if you want to call on the person, actually you may not be able to do that, I think I need to, but Allison's gonna message you if you win, and she'll get your address and your email address, so we can send the prize directly to you. All right, Joey, you ready?
Am I good to go? Am I calling on the people or you?
I'm going to try to do it. So
yeah,
I'll be 100% honest, everyone. I've been working from home for the past 4 months, and I only had my laptop. Well, now in my office, I've got 2 screens, and so managing Zoom via 2 screens is a little complicated. But let's get you back up here real quick. Like I said, I cannot. Okay, everybody. So,
okay.
If you just raised your hand, please unraise it for a minute there. Let me get back out. Hang on 1 second, Joey.
I was going to say, if we have problems with the hand raising, they could also be the first person to type in the chat if that doesn't work on the first one.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do that. That will be the easiest. Go ahead and type in your answer into the chat.
Right. We ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you ready? Let me pull this back up. Thanks for being patient with us, everybody.
They want to win money.
I know they do. There you go. Oh, you can't see it. I used to be really good at this. Sorry, everyone. All right, there we go.
What is the name of the first president of SRU?
Go ahead, if you know it, go ahead and type it in the chat.
Ooh, he got it.
All right, Alex, James Morrow, correct. So Allison is going to message you to get your email address, and we'll get that gift card sent to you. Good job. All right, next question.
Which residence hall burned down not once, but twice?
I'm gonna put a little music back on for this.
Oh, we got one. We got.
First one on my screen, I'm seeing Janine Parrish.
Yes.
North Hall, that is correct.
We love that.
All right, question number 3.
Name 2 of the 4 traditions at SRU. Roads are only Christian. I got Brianna. Hey.
Yep.
Nice.
Brianna Hast, I believe. Green and White Friday and Rubbing the Rock. So, Joey, can you explain those 2 traditions?
Yeah, so every Friday you're supposed to, and people will call you out if you're not wearing slippery rock gear, green and white. Some people like to be funny and wear other college stuff on Friday, and they get publicly shamed. And then touching the rock, you're supposed to touch, there's 4 rocks on campus. Personally, I've never done this. I don't know if Allison did this one.
Touch the rock?
Yeah,
I did for graduation pictures.
that seems to be the like main rock, but you're supposed to rub the rock for good luck.
Right. And the other two traditions, Joe, you know what those are?
Yes, so one is saying hello to everyone that you see, which sounds like it's super easy, but 8 a.m. on Monday can be a little rough, but we try to prevail. And then the other one is singing the alma mater, which it's a song.
The
I don't.
Green and White Society all know it, so that's a good organization to think about. Joey knows because Mia told him. Mia is our vice
Yes,
president.
Mia.
Internal
Shout
affairs
out
for
to
SGA.
Mia.
All right, I think this might be our next question. What is the full name of SRU's mascot? Sorry, Joey, I read that for you. This is a kind of a trick question. Rocky is the first part.
Ooh, we're getting close.
Not
Oh, we got
Rocky.
one.
There we go. Hannah Rowland. Rocky, Pride of the Rock. It's a little known fact. Everybody thinks that, it's just Rocky or the lion, but it's Rocky, Pride of the Rock. All right, I think the next one is our last trivia question.
What other university reports the SRU football scores at halftime of their own football game? Oh, that was quick.
Was quick. Ella Richards. Who's got it first?
Michigan.
Michigan, University of Michigan. Awesome. Well, great job, everybody. Thank you, Joey, for the SRU trivia. Do you want to say anything else about WOW or about your experience here before we move on to the next piece?
Just take advantage of all the opportunities. Get your money's worth. You're paying for it. Come to all the WOW events. Take advantage of it all, and you'll have the resume of a lifetime.
Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Joey, and thanks for everyone for participating in the trivia. The last thing we're going to do, I'm going to exit out of this so I can just go back to core. I'm going to share a little bit more about what you can experience during WOW. So basically, as I mentioned, all of the WOW events are going to be in core. There's events during the first week of classes. So for example, there's going to be Ask Me tents around campus that you can go and you can ask. There'll be student organization representatives there that will be there to answer questions you might have throughout the week. There's also going to be one of our biggest events of the year. It's a WOW tradition. It's called Epic Bingo. It's going to be next Friday, the 21st. You will be able to do it virtually, or if you are a student living on campus or in the Slippery Rock area, you'll be able to pick up your supplies ahead of time. So you can see there's some pickups happening next week. Pick up your dauber and bingo card because we know it's more fun to actually to play in person. So you'll be able to pick that up and you'll still be able to play on Zoom. And then if you're at home, you'll be able to get a virtual card. We've got over $3,000 in prizes. There's usually over 700 students that participate in that. So we're excited about that tradition coming back. And then the beginning of the SJ Outdoor Movie Series is going to be on the quad next weekend. It's called Birds of Prey. And then the last couple of things to end our WOW experience is our virtual involvement fair. So our clubs and organizations will be available for you to learn a little bit more about getting involved and in all of our clubs and organizations that are happening on campus. So the other thing I wanted to show you, if some of you have seen it, we've got a program this year called Your Path to the Rock. And so everybody, in order to track your progress in WOW, and I'm actually going to open up, I'm going to put this in the chat so everybody has it to be able to see. But Your Path to the Rock is a way that we're actually going to be able to track what you've gone to in WOW. And that's so that you can win different prizes and incentives. And so the information guide that I'll put in the chat actually goes through how you can track your attendance or your participation in what's happening in WOW. And so basically, if you achieve level 1, which means you've gone to 6 of the WOW events, broken down in these categories, you'll get an SRU water bottle. We'll mail that home if you're at home. If you're on campus, you'll be able to pick it up. If you've achieved level 2, which is 12 different activities, and again, in those different categories, you'll get an SRU swag bag, and in that is going to be an SRU branded bag, a grocery tote, an SRU t-shirt, which is a pretty cool design, and I'll try to show you that here in a minute, and then an SRU water bottle. If you achieve our greatest level, which is level 3 during WOW, when you hit 18 different activities, you'll get the swag bag as well as be entered into the drawing for a number of prizes. We've got about $3,000 in prizes. Some of those include textbooks for a semester, an SRU Park Anywhere Pass, which is really popular on our campus because parking can sometimes be a challenge, but you'll be able to park in any legal spot, Apple AirPods, and some other really cool things. So in order to be eligible for that, you do need to go to 18 of the WOW activities. That sounds like a lot, but there's over 30 activities that are available throughout the week. To track your progress, I'm going to show you how to do that, but it's also in this information guide that I just showed you. And as a quick snapshot, I know I said all of the events are on core, but they are also in this game board, the WOW Your Path to the Rock game board. And so all of the events are listed on here as well. So you're going to get a copy of that after today's session. But basically, here's how you're going to track your progress. So you're going to go into core. And I see we have a couple questions, and I'll get to that in a minute. You're going to go into core, and when you log in and scroll down, you're going to see a path, and it's going to say your path to the rock. You can click on that. Again, this is where you can download the game board or the information guide that I just showed you. Explains a little bit more about how to track your progress. But essentially, here's the categories that we just talked about. So we've got 5 different academic support sessions. So you can come in here and you can click on one of them. So for example, our Rock Learning webpage, you can come in here, click on the webpage, see, check it out, see what's happening on that webpage. And then when you go back into your path, you come in here, you mark it complete. You can say what day you did that. One thing that you learned at the Rock website, and submit that, and that will track your progress. So for some other events, so for example, our academic support session, our student success workshop, it's a video. So come in here again, watch that quick 5-minute video, mark that it's complete, and you'll be able to track that progress. Any event that's actually in person, so for example, the academic success workshops that are starting next week, are actually events. So if you click on view events by name, again, there's those events that we talked about. So when you attend that session, the presenter of that session will put a link in the chat, and they'll ask you to track your attendance that you were there. And that's how you'll know that you've tracked that attendance. So you can always go back throughout the week and click on your path to the rock to see everything that's upcoming in each of those 4 areas. So here's all of our student support sessions. You can see we've got a couple of the art orientation. We've got a virtual tour of the library. You want to pick up your free SRU branded mask around campus. And then of course our social entertainment events. There's a ton of those happening. And some of these are really simple. So downloading the Cork app, that'll take you literally 30 seconds, and you can check that off the list of things you've done. So we really want to encourage everyone to participate in your path to the rock. That's going to help you navigate the experience. But again, you'll also be able to get some free incentives throughout the week. So I'm going to check the chat. Looks like we might have some questions. Let's see. We have a question about, can you still find, I'm going to actually stop sharing my screen. So we have a question about, can you still find used items in tents? So last year during WOW, we had an option where people were able to give away their used items, and students were able to come and get those. Due to COVID, we were not having that event this year. We don't want people to be exchanging things. We'll hope to bring that back next year, but unfortunately that's not available for this year. Yes, Dave. Dr. Wilmus says, are you telling me you could win prizes just by attending events? Yes. If you haven't met Dr. Wilmus yet, he's a little bit cheesy, and he's always got some dad jokes for you. So I make fun of him, but students seem to like it. So Rachel just asked the question, I'm a commuter and I do not have a class on campus the first week. Is there a way I can get my free SRU branded mask? The masks will be available until gone, and we've got thousands of them. So you'll be able to go to the information desk in the Student Center, or the circulation desk at Bailey Library, or I believe at Old Main. Those are the 3 locations where masks will be given out. So you can get those at any time. So even if you don't have any classes this week, you'll be able to come next week or the week after to get a mask. There should be plenty for everyone. What other questions do people have? Saw a question in there, is there a way to get a mask if you are not living on campus? Dr. Wilmus, do you have an answer to that? I might have to unmute him.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're not sending the masks home. The masks are really designed because we have to be masked in the buildings on campus. And so we will have them here if people need them to wear a mask in the buildings on campus. But we aren't sending them home to individuals at this time.
Let's see, other questions. Are we able to pick up our books in person? Yes, you are. So the bookstore has, the bookstore is open, normal business hours. They also have a tent outside the student center where you can come and you can either show them your schedule or download the books you need, and we'll be able to get them. I don't know, Dr. Wilmus, if there's any other info to share with that. We're good? Looks like he might be frozen. Smiling, I think that's right.
There was a question about tutoring. Tutoring is available online. It is also available in person. So if you're here on campus and you want to do in-person tutoring, you can request that. If you're not on campus or if you don't want to do in-person, you can do online tutoring that will occur through a platform like Zoom.
Great. So we got a question about how do we know if we completed a session? So a couple ways that you'll be able to do that. So if I go back to share my screen so you can all see it. So one way would be in your path. So when you complete a session on your path, on the side here, you'll see completed, right? So you'll start to see some progress in your path, and there'll be a bar that will go across where you can see what you attended. The other way you can check if it's actually a synchronous event where you're on Zoom and it's a live event. After they've checked attendance, you can come into Core and click your name and click event history. And you'll be able to see every event that you've ever attended. So you'll be able to check to make sure that your event was, or your participation was tracked in that way. So again, either by going there, clicking on event history, or if you click on Core again, go down to your path, you'll see this live update as those things or those sessions are participated in or you track those. Great question.
Hey, Lauren.
Yeah.
Are there 18 events that students can attend from home in order to complete level 3?
There absolutely are. So all of our sessions, with the exception of, I think really just 2 or 3, the Grove City shuttles, as well as the Ask Me tents, are virtual sessions. So nearly all of them are virtual. And so we want to make sure that you at home are going to be able to get the same experience as our students on campus. So absolutely. The bookstore told me that none of my freshman classes have books. Is this common? Do you know that, Dave?
Well, so that doesn't mean you don't actually have books for your classes. What it may mean is that the faculty member teaching some of your classes didn't tell the bookstore, here are the books I'm requiring. The bookstore reaches out to the faculty and they say, what books do you require this semester? And most of them get back to them and tell them, here are the books we require. It's possible that you just ended up in some classes which either don't have books or have some sort of online software instead, or that there are some books but you won't find about it later. So the best thing to do is just, and my advice to students is always, wait and see what books are actually required and what they're going to use, because you don't want to buy a bunch of books that you actually don't use. So I would just wait and see and figure out what exactly your books are going to be.
Next question, what is the Zoom link for the first Jumpstart event? That's also on Core, but I can also add that to the chat as we go. The one at 12 o'clock, I believe.
Does this event right now count as a session, Lauren?
It does not. This is our kickoff, so we're encouraging you to go to the other events that are happening. So we thought about it, but we decided not to.
Yeah. Brianna, if one of your books is on back order and you go through the bookstore, they will actually send you an email when it's done. So they'll send it to your SRU email saying, your book that was on back order is now here.
Downloaded the Cork app. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you can track events that way. Correct. So another way, not necessarily for WOW, but typically when we're on campus, you have what's called your SRU event pass. So when you download Cork, which is our student engagement app, you'll have an on-campus event pass. And so when you go to events, you would scan in to say that you have participated, and that would track it. Because most of these events are virtual, you obviously won't be able to use your event pass, but you will be able to see all the upcoming events and get the links and all of that through Cork. So it is a quicker way rather than going online every time. It's a quicker way to do that. So again, that's called Cork, C-O-R-Q. And what I'm going to do now, as we wait, if there's any other questions, I'm going to put into the chat the file that I showed you earlier. That was the WOW game board. I'm dropping that in now for you to download, as well as the brochure that talks about how to access all the different things in WOW. I just put that in there. And I know someone asked about Jumpstart. Doesn't look like the link is on there. Dave, do you know where they can access the Jumpstart link if someone's in
part
Jumpstart?
of the Jumpstart program, you should have received an email with all of the events and the link through that. So I would check your personal email account in terms of that.
Are any of the WOW events in person? So the events that we have in person, because of COVID this year, probably will actually not be starting in-person events until after WOW is over. During WOW, the in-person events that we have include the shuttles to Grove City, the first SJ movie. It's out on the quad, outdoor movie, so that's next Saturday, as well as our Ask Me tents. That would be in person, that you can actually come up and ask. All of the other events are for this year are virtual, and then in-person events on campus will start the first week of classes. Any other questions?
Lauren, I've got a question.
Yeah.
So this is just a great kickoff to the year that you've put together for us. What is it going to look like for the rest of the year when it comes to events?
Absolutely. So let's hope when this is all over, we're going to go back to all of the really great things that we do here at Slippery Rock. So our office, Student Engagement and Leadership, oversees a number of involvement areas. So our University Program Board, which is actually our Campus Entertainment Board, they put on huge events every year. So we have big concerts with big names. We actually were supposed to have Post Malone in the spring, not in the spring, Roddy Ricch in the spring. Post Malone was 2 years ago. And that was canceled due to COVID, but big concerts that happen on campus. We have big name speakers that come every year, comedians. So a lot of really cool in-person events and activities. Our fraternity and sorority life community is really active on campus. So it's a great way to connect with other students on campus. And they put on one of our biggest traditional events every year, Epic Bingo, that I mentioned. It usually is we end up selling out, or we're at hit capacity every year. We get about 700 students that come to that. So a lot of really fun and cool things. We do travel trips. So we have buses that go down to Pittsburgh, that go to Penguin Games and Pirate Games, the Benedum Musical Theater. You can go and see Broadway shows downtown. So every weekend, typically during the semester, we have one signature big event that happens either on campus or again through a travel trip. It's called Rock the Weekend series. And so that happens throughout the semester. Rock the Weekend is happening this year, but a lot of those events will be virtual so that our students at home can also participate, with the exception of our outdoor movie series. Again, there's going to be every other weekend on the quad. There will be on Friday and Saturday nights at 8:30 p.m. There will be a first run show on the quad on a big outdoor screen. So lots that happens on our campus, and we're hoping that in 2021 we'll be able to get back to some of that. But we've got lots planned for you virtually this semester as well.
I heard a rumor
that
UPB may be doing a big comedian or a concert this year, just like we would do normally in person, but we would be doing it online so that everybody could participate.
That rumor is correct,
Ooh.
Dr. Wellness. So I believe in September, and I can't announce the name just yet, but we've got a big name comedian that will be performing just for the Slippery Rock community. So that is happening. During homecoming this year, we actually have a Netflix star. Again, can't announce that yet, but we'll be announcing that in the next couple of weeks. That will be offered as well to you exclusively as SRU students. So that rumor is true.
So it sounds like whether I'm here in Slippery Rock or I'm somewhere else this fall, there's going to be lots of cool things to participate in.
You are correct. There's
Good.
going to be lots. And it looks like we've got a couple other questions in the chat. So what's the best way to get involved as a transfer student? Great question. As a transfer, you can obviously join any student organization, but one aspect of involvement that we really do recommend for transfer students is fraternity and sorority life, because it's a very easy way to get connected to friends and other students on campus. We have a rule in our campus that you cannot join a fraternity and sorority until you have 12 credits, but that doesn't, a transfer student would already have credits coming in. So as a transfer student, you can get involved in a fraternity and sorority within the first semester. So again, I would go to CORE, and if you go to CORE, there's a number of different ways to get involved. As a transfer student, the Student Government Association also has a senator position that's specifically for transfer students. So you can be a SGA senator and represent the transfer population within the student body. I would encourage you to go to the session tomorrow afternoon, I believe, on SGA, and you can learn a little bit more about how to be a senator. How will study abroad honors trips look this year? I'm going to pass that one to you, Dr. Wilmes.
Well, yeah, so currently we don't have any trips scheduled for this fall, given just the pandemic and everything that's going on. It's possible that we may have things in the spring. I would say most likely we won't be doing any study abroad in the spring, because typically we've already locked in all the information we need for the spring by now, and students have signed up by now. And so my guess is that most of those things are going to be deferred till next year. So if you're still interested in doing a trip or a study abroad experience, that's probably going to be moved to next year when we're in a better space with the pandemic.
Question about tips for transfer students. So Allison, I'm going to put you on the spot. I know that you're not a transfer student, but maybe some tips. So Allison is one of our new graduate assistants, but she just graduated from Slippery Rock in the spring and is now in a master's program. And so I'm going to ask her to talk about, from the student perspective, what are some tips for transfer students or other students just looking to get involved?
Yeah, for sure. When I was in my undergrad, I got involved in a lot of stuff really, really quickly. So my freshman year, I was on the track team, so I kind of was just doing the sport thing all freshman year. I didn't really get involved in too many clubs. And then sophomore year came around and I was like, you know what, I'll just go for recruitment. I'll meet the sororities. Maybe that'll be for me. Maybe it won't be. Turns out that was definitely for me, because I wound up being the vice president of Panhandle and then became the president of Panhandle while doing things in my own organization. So because of that, I was able to expand, and I joined the Love Your Melon Club at SRU. But honestly, we have a virtual involvement fair that's going to be happening in 2 weeks. It's going to be on CORE. So typically we have a regular involvement fair in the quad, and it's just tables for everybody, and everyone's allowed to just go around and like talk to all the different clubs and orgs. But obviously we can't do that right now. So we are having a virtual fair. We have 2 dates. It's the 25th and the 26th. The 25th is going to be at 12:30, and then the 26th is at 4. And that's on CORE. So it'll be, all the organizations will be there. They have their own Zoom link. And so once you sign in and go to that event, you'll be able to talk to all the different organizations by clicking on their Zoom link. And Lauren actually dropped the fraternity and sorority interest form into the chat. And I can even put Julie's email in there. She's the Panhellenic president. And I can put AJ's email. He's the IFC president, in case you guys have any questions about anything revolving. But yeah, honestly, I would say definitely go to the involvement fair, look on CORE, see if anybody's doing anything interesting before that. And then honestly, if you have a club or organization that you like, that you see when you're scrolling through all the organizations, just email them. They're not going to be like, oh no, I don't want to talk to you. They'll be like, oh great, someone's interested. So they'll definitely email you back.
Thanks, Allison. And I see in the chat someone asked, if you're not staying on campus, can you still get involved in a fraternity and sorority? Absolutely. So our Greek organizations, like many of our student organizations, will be functioning in a number of forms this semester. So I did put the interest form in the chat. There's no obligation. If you click that form, it's just saying, I want a little more information about fraternity and sorority life. So you can go ahead and click that. I also see that Mia, our SGA Vice President of Internal Affairs for the Student Government Association, put her email in the chat. SGA petition packets or election packets are available on CORE as well. So I would encourage you to, if you're interested, email Mia, or again, download an election packet. You can learn a little bit more. But tomorrow we also have a session about SGA and what they can offer as well. So other questions? Excellent. Well, I hope you all learned a little bit today. We are excited to get started and to have students back on campus. Hopefully you'll take advantage of your path to the Rock, not only to learn a little bit about the Rock, but to get some free stuff. The t-shirts are limited edition. I should show that real quick, right? I'll put in the chat our WOW 2021 t-shirt. Pull it up real quick. We ordered a limited number of these. So typically everybody during WOW gets a t-shirt, but this year it's going to be those of you that are eager enough to participate in the path. But here is this year's WOW shirt. So don't be ashamed to wear a mask in public. Some people wear IUP shirts. So if you didn't know, we've got a nice rivalry with IUP. So you definitely want to get one of these shirts. And you'll get one of those if you achieve level 2 or 3 in your path. So if you have any other questions, you are able to email WOW, and I'll put that in there in the chat, wow@sru.edu. You're welcome to email that with any other questions about WOW. Otherwise, go to CORE, check it out, see everything that's happening, and have a great first week. Whether you're moving in or you're still at home, enjoy, and we're excited to see you in whatever form that will be. So welcome to the Rock, everyone.
Hey, Lauren, it looks like Tori Rollins raised their hand. I don't know, Tori, do you have a question?
Tori, yeah. What you got for us, Tori?
Lauren, could you let me know if it's a perfect time to explain to them? I know we don't have any sporting events, but hopefully in the winter and the spring, we'll be able to have sporting events and have our students come to those events. Should we tell them about, downloading the Cork app and having, that's the way they check in with their student IDs?
Yep. So for anyone who doesn't know, Tori is our assistant athletic director at Slippery Rock, and so he works with all our amazing athletic teams. And so, as I mentioned earlier today, when you download Cork and you get your event pass, that's what our athletic program uses to get into all of their the games and events free of charge. You've got to have that event pass, and as well as several other events around campus. You'll need that to check in as well. So download Cork, C-O-R-Q. If you go to the App Store or on Google Play, you'll be able to download that. And that's one of the things in your path that you can check off that you've done. And that counts towards credit towards your path. So thanks, Tori. It's a great reminder. If you want to share anything else about athletics, you're welcome to.
Well, I have bad news, just bad news, but we don't have any fall sports, unfortunately, but hopefully in the winter and spring, we will have some sports that our students can come and support and show their support for our student athletes. But right now, we're not doing anything. You may see some student athletes on campus working out and that sort of thing. But right now, we are just working towards getting through this pandemic and hopefully getting back to some type of normalcy, whatever that is, for the winter sports and our spring sports.
Absolutely. I see someone else put in the chat, what is the mentor-mentee Zoom link? I'm assuming you mean for Jumpstart. You should have been emailed that information. If you're having a challenge accessing any of that, I'm going to put Amber Hamilton is the coordinator of that program of Jumpstart. And so I'm putting her email into the chat right now. And you can email her for the information for Jumpstart if you're a part of that program. How do you sign up for intramural sports on campus? So our campus recreation office oversees our intramural program. And so they are on CORE. So a lot of our departments are on CORE. You're going to hear that a lot. Just go to CORE. It's on CORE. It's really your place to go. So if you go to CORE and search campus recreation, there's information around intramurals. Most of the intramurals this semester will be esports. There's a basketball league I think they're doing Madden. So a lot of those will be virtual. I think they're working on a socially distant, maybe cornhole league and kickball league, but campus recreation is the department that oversees that. So there will be intramural opportunities as well. Dr. Wilmes, can you share how will student IDs be issued?
So student IDs are either being mailed or you can pick them up. So if you're an on-campus, if you're here on campus, you can pick it up at the parking and ID office. They're open 8 to 4:30 Monday through Friday, and you can get it that way. Some people have already received their IDs. If you have to actually submit your own picture for your ID, and so there's a whole process involved. That is explained on the Parking and ID website. So you can go to the Parking and ID website and get all that information. If you've already done it, you've either been, excuse me, you've either been mailed your ID already, or you can pick it up in the office. If for some reason you haven't heard from them, I'd say call the Parking and ID office and say, I haven't gotten my ID yet, where is it?
Great. Get the app, the Get app. Yes, so the Get app that Noah shared in the chat is the app that is used through AVI Food Services. You'll be able to use it to order takeout food, I believe through Boozle and through some of the other food services that are going to be available this semester. It's called the Get app, G-E-T. And again, that's through AVI. So that's another app that you'll want to download. So Cork, as well as the Get app. Thanks for that, Noah.
Hey, Lauren.
Hey, Dr. Wilmes.
You know what kind of music balloons hate?
What?
Pop music.
That's an example of Dr. Wilmes's jokes. If you're laughing right now, you'll love them. He does them every day. If you think it's cheesy, like I do.
Yeah, 20 people dropped off the call after that joke.
Yeah. We would be a really boring podcast. No one really cares listening to us right now. All right, other questions. If we're staying at home, but we're within a reasonable distance from campus, do you recommend getting a commuter parking pass?
Yes, if you think you're ever going to come to campus, get a commuter parking pass, because commuter parking passes cost $25 for the whole year. A ticket costs $50. So it's a better deal to just get the parking pass and then not get a ticket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it'll be good for August, so.
Yes, and as a reminder, you can win a Park Anywhere pass if you complete level 3 in your WOW path. And that every year is one of the best prizes that we give away. So do we need a meal plan if we're not staying on campus? No, you do not. You're welcome to get one or to get flex, which are dollars that you can use for meals, but you're not required to get one if you're off campus. Where can I get a commuter parking pass? Allison just put a link into the chat at the parking office. You can, on their website, there is the application for where you can actually pay for the parking pass. So we actually don't have passes. It's based on your license plate. Sorry, Allison, you want to add that?
I was going to say, you don't actually have to go pick it up, so you'll just be, your license plate will be all registered and ready to go.
Any other questions? If I come to campus and don't have a meal plan, can I use my card or cash to pay? Yes, you can. You can use both, either of those. We are encouraging people, though, however, in order to try to do contactless pay to get the Get app, you'll be able to prepay through there. So it's a way to not be exchanging your card or cash. But yes, you're absolutely welcome to use that. A Get app won't let me log in. Do I need it for anything other than food? No, the Get app is specifically for our AVI, which is our food services on campus.
And for your ID.
And for your ID.
Yep, ID and.
Yep.
And someone asked about the commuter parking pass. You can order it online. You don't actually have to go anywhere. And Allison put the link to the parking office in there. So if you have any questions about parking or IDs, start with the parking office. They can help you out.
Yep. One last link I'm going to throw in there is the link to the Cork app. If you go to this site, it has the direct downloads to both the App Store and Google Play for the app. So I would go to cork.app and that will get you there. And Allison just put dining services, their website if you're having issues with the Get app. So thank you, Allison. All right, any last questions before we log off here? All right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for the kickoff. Hopefully you're walking away with some good information. The first WOW sessions are this afternoon starting at 3 p.m. Again, go to CORE and all the information will be on there, or email wow@sru.edu. So thanks again, and welcome to the Rock, everyone.